Easiest Christmas snack. Place pretzels on a tray and then top each one with a Hershey's Kiss. From there, pop it in the oven at 200 degrees for 4 minutes and top it with an M&M.
Let's make some French onion latkes. To start, we're going to cook 1 minced onion and 2 tablespoons of butter. Cook it until caramelized, then deglaze with a 1/3 cup of apple brandy. Then we're going to grate 2 pounds of russet potatoes. Squeeze out all the liquid. To the potatoes, we're going to add in those onions, 1/2 cup of matzo meal, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 3/4 cup of grated Gruyere, 4 eggs, all of the potato starch from the liquid. Mix it up and fry 1/3 cup size scoops. Give them a good smash. Get them golden on both sides. Then we're going to throw them onto paper towels to drain and shove them in your mouth.
Yes, I did get verified recently, thank you for noticing, and we will celebrate with a big pot of French onion soup. Now, the hardest part of this is chopping all of these onions without shedding a single tear, but I did it. And then you just want to cook them down in some butter until they're nice and dark and caramelized. Do not rush this step, just relax, okay? And this holiday season, I am very grateful for TikTok, actually, and all of you who found me on here. Making these videos has been way more fun than I ever could have imagined. Even though half of y'all are about to tell me I'm making French onion soup wrong, I love you anyway. But here is where I go really off the rails. Instead of putting them into individual bowls, I make one giant crouton from an entire loaf of bread, top that with the cheese. Looks like snow, beautiful. And I just broil it all right in the pot and dig in. I think this is an easier way to make it. I'm sure you have your opinions, but just be careful. It's hot.
Today we're making hot chocolate dip. Easiest recipe you're gonna make all season. You're gonna need a giant bowl, 1 big tub of Cool Whip, so satisfying, an entire jar of marshmallow fluff, and the final ingredient is a 1/3 cup of hot cocoa powder. I have this Ghirardelli mix, and one's caramel and one's double chocolate, so I'm just gonna do halvesies. Now blend it up. Transfer to a bowl. Add some mini Marshies to the top. Not just because it's fun, we're gonna do a light sprinkle of cocoa powder. Whoa, that was a little more than a light sprinkle, Nicole. Now, you can take a little graham cracker and do a dip, or you could be fun and use these reindeer circus animal cookies. You could also do Nilla wafers. So many options. I think I'm gonna go for the cookie, and bon appetit to me. This is
Group on Facebook.
Start by putting the strawberries on sticks and make sure that these are also very dry. Then on low heat, add 1/2 cup water and 1 cup sugar, and stir this just until the sugar is dissolved. And then stop mixing, turn the heat up to medium, then we're gonna let this boil, and after about 6 minutes, I did the chopstick test. So dip a wooden stick into the pot, dip it in the ice water, and then chew it. It will crunch in your mouth when it's ready. Then you wanna work quickly here, dip it quickly into the pot, and then swirl it all around, then let it set on a plate.
Everybody's asking about my icing, so I'm going to just show you how to make it. Super easy. 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/4 cup of half and half, tablespoon of vodka, and a teaspoon of almond extract. Whisk that together and then drizzle over some blue food coloring. I'm using gel. And use a knife or a spoon and just swirl it together, but not completely. You want to leave those striations so when you dip in your cooled cookies, you get these like really nice, pretty designs, just like so. Each cookie is going to be a little bit different. The vodka is going to help it set super matte, and you have some perfect Hanukkah cookies.
2-ingredient, no-bake fudge? What? Yes, please. All you need is a can of frosting and melted white chocolate chips. Mix it together and separate in 3 bowls. I chose green and red food coloring for the holidays. Put down tin foil and spoon in the mixture. Freeze it for 2 hours. Best dessert.
1 block vanilla bark, 16 ounces of macadamia nuts, 2 bags of white chocolate chips. After 1 hour on low, mix everything together and dollop onto wax paper.
Let's make these cream cheese frosting stuffed red velvet Santa cookies. Mix 2 sticks of softened butter with 1 cup of white sugar and a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Once it's nice and creamy, crack in 2 eggs and a dash of vanilla, and a lot of red dye. Mix in 2½ cups of flour, a 1/2 cup of cocoa, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Then stir in a cup of white chocolate chips. For the filling, mix 1 block of cream cheese with a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar and a heavy dash of vanilla. To assemble, pat the dough nice and flat and add in a big dollop of that cream cheese stuffing. Sort of fold it together, your hands are gonna get messy, and bake at 350 for about 20 minutes. These are insanely delicious. The full recipe is on my Instagram.
Today we're gonna make the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, and this one you can eat every day of the week, even Sunday. First, grab some chicken tenders and put them in a bowl with pickle juice and milk and let that marinate for 30 minutes. For the signature Chick-fil-A sauce, grab honey mustard, Dijon mustard, barbecue, mayo, lemon juice, and mix it up, baby. Next, whisk together 1 egg and milk and add it to a Ziploc with some flour and powdered sugar. Throw in your chicken, and now it's time to fry. I'm using a deep fryer because I'm tired of getting burned. You basically just put in your chicken and let it fry in the oil for 5 minutes. And here is your Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. This tastes just like the one from Chick-fil-A, and the best part is you can eat it on Sunday.
This recipe is going to change your life. And check out my culinary overalls. Check the link in my bio for 15% off. All right, get a chicken breast, slice it up. Season with some salt, pepper, some crushed red pepper, and some Cajun seasoning. Get a pan and add some avocado oil. Let this heat up. In another pot, boil up some water for our pasta. This recipe is focusing on her. Making a creamy garlic Alfredo. Mince up as many cloves as your heart tells you. I'm gonna use the whole thing. Go ahead and cook up your chicken. Mince up your garlic. Fresh garlic is the best garlic. Remember, as salty as the people who despise you. And a little bit more. Add your pasta. I'm using rigatoni. Remove your chicken and set aside. Drop the heat to low. Add 2 tablespoons of butter. Let that melt down. Add all that garlic. Cook until nice and fragrant. Add about a teaspoon of flour. Add 2 ounces of chicken broth. A cup of heavy whipping cream. A 1/3 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Add some parsley, salt, and pepper to taste. Add in your chicken, a little bit of pasta water. I like to add a handful of spinach. Add in your pasta, mix to combine. And there you have it, bone apple tea.
I'm back making desserts that anger people on the internet, which I feel like is really my MO lately. So this is spicy honey pecan nice cream. It's 2 bananas, 2 dates, some pecans, and then my ode to Mike's Hot Honey, which is a tablespoon of honey, a bit of Frank's Red Hot. I wanted to use more, but I didn't want to scare you guys. Some chili flakes, and then you mix that all together and add it to your smoothie blender. And then add a bit of any kind of milk. And today I learned that you can actually over blend a smoothie bowl, which is why they get so watery and not thick. So don't do that, just blend it just enough and then top with candied pecans, and that is the entire spicy recipe.
If you're trying to impress somebody, well then make these sliders. Now let's go! Starting with the onions. Slice them, soak them in buttermilk, toss them in your flour dredge, shake off the excess, and fry at 350 degrees for about 2 minutes. 80-20 ground beef, rosemary salt if you know you know, and some finely ground Sergeant Gilbert. Brioche slider rolls, slice in half, butter them up, and toast. Ripping hot pan, okay? Ripping hot! Little avocado oil, nice and smoky. Now drop your burger. 2 minutes and flip, medium cheddar, and then under the broiler. When the cheese is melted, rest for a few minutes. Special sauce, burger, onions, and the top with more sauce and pickles. Oh. They say any job you can do in sweatpants is a good job. Ah! Insanely delicious, you know.
Apple pie in a brown paper bag. Here you go, guys. Mix together sugar, flour, and cinnamon with apples. Mix it again, but add butter. Bake for 45 minutes in the brown bag. Split it in half. Bake for 15 more.
Here's how you can make this delicious baked egg tortilla for less than 500 calories. First, you just need to grease an oven dish, place in a wrap, and then crack in a few eggs. You can really choose whatever toppings you like for this, but I went with some half cherry tomato, sliced chili, teared in some basil and some mozzarella, cracked on some black pepper, and sprinkled a bit of salt, then drizzled over some olive oil and placed it in the oven for about 10 minutes. Should come out looking like this.
Bloody delicious. Spot on.
Okay, so you all are obsessed with my oats, and I get it. My oats are weird, but here is how I make them. So take some oats and blend them into oat flour. Just trust the process. And then all the measurements will be on my Instagram, but you cook that for about 3 minutes in the microwave, stirring every minute. And then you add 2 to 3 egg whites. Now, when I was healing my relationship with food, I did have to ask myself, was I eating certain things because I really wanted to eat them, or just because, like, you know, the protein bros were telling me that I had to? And this is one of the foods that I had to take a step back from and then realize that I could reincorporate into my diet because I actually did love it. Oh, and I also put in flaxseed to thicken it up, and then more flaxseed because I'm a beacon of health, but then also chocolate because I'm a beacon of balance, and then cranberries and coconut because health, and then maple syrup because balance.
Keto friends, this one is for you. Okay, in my tin here, I'm gonna do 1.5 ounces of Patron, or whatever kind of tequila that you'd like. All right, now I'm gonna do 1 ounce of lime juice, and then I'm gonna do a sprinkle of Tajín inside, and then I'm gonna use this Tajín classic sauce. I'm gonna do just a dash. It says like 0 carbs, 0 sugar, so we'll try it out. All right, this is gonna be like a Texas ranch water. That ice. Shake. I have a glass already with Tajín on the rim. All right, now I'm gonna strain. now I'm gonna top it off with this HEB 1877 Club Soda. What? Delicious. All right, this is my version of a Texas Ranch water. Oh, keto.
What's up, you guys? Let's make a drink. First, you're going to grab an orange and thinly slice it. Also, keep in mind you're going to need about 2 orange slices per drink. Next, go ahead and grab yourself a large mason jar or whatever cup you want to use that has a lid. Next, toss in 2 star anise. Alright, hear me out. I know this is weird, or it seems weird, but this is a thing. Add in 1 tablespoon of orange marmalade. I just have to say that because some of y'all be going off in them comments. Okay, go ahead and toss in 1 orange slice and then top that off with some ice. Next, we're going to just repeat the same step. Top that off with another orange slice and then top that off with some more ice. Now for this part, you truly have the freedom to do whatever you want. I used 7 ounces of ginger ale, but you could use tonic water, 7-Up, Sprite, whatever you want. Honestly, it's going to come out good either way. Okay, so boom, you're going to top this off with some dark rum. I don't care if it's cheap, expensive, whatever rum that you have honestly will do. I'm using Captain Morgan, as you can see. Alright, so normally you pour about a shot or 2, but honestly, pour as much as you want. And if somebody says otherwise, tell them mind their business. Alright, now you're just going to pop a lid on it and shake it. Look at that. Now don't that look refreshing? You don't got to agree. I know I do.